Going into the timeout, if you had to pick a quarterback to start your franchise with two guys that are going to play against each other on Sunday, Trevor Lawrence or Jalen Hurts, who would you want to build your team around? Welcome back. National Football Show with your boy Big Sills. Please hit the like button. Get a chance tonight to see Chip Kelly and his great impact that he's had at UCLA with no one in the stands at the Rose Bowl. He's done a nice job at UCLA, but guess what he's not done? No one cares. He hasn't attracted any energy with that football program. I'm going to say something to you about Chip Kelly. Oregon made him an average quarterback coach, an average coach. He's average. He's nothing special. He was a hot ticket. You know, he could have had the Buck job. He could have had that job. Then he decided to stay at Oregon. Handpicked his gig. He's an average coach. And he's had no impact whatsoever. I think they play Washington tonight. Watch how empty that Rose Bowl is. He's brought no impact at all. No impact at all to UCLA. And they're not bad. Okay, but Oregon made that dude, man. Okay, they did. And when he got that Eagle job, he ripped that thing to pieces, threw Howie in a broom closet. I mean, he wreaked havoc. I mean, getting rid of Shady McCoy and some of the great players that were on that team. He wreaked havoc on that franchise. I can't believe they're where they are after then they go on and win a Super Bowl and they've rebounded from that guy. Usually when you got a loser like that in the building, it takes someone like Doug Pederson to clean it up. Like Doug is cleaning it up after Urban Liar. So Chip, UCLA, I don't know. Okay. He's not one of the top 25 coaches in college football. I can promise you that, or in any football. Hit the like button here. All right. I asked you this question. Going into the timeout, if you had to pick a quarterback to start your franchise with the two guys that are going to play against each other on Sunday, Trevor Lawrence or Jalen Hurts, who would you want to build your team around? It's a style thing too, okay? By the way, do you know that Trevor Lawrence has only been sacked twice this year so far? That says a lot. Okay? Especially when you took on Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa last week. He's only been sacked twice. That old line's holding up pretty well. Plus, you have a pretty good coaching staff. Okay? You got a lot of good coaches on that coaching staff that are helping him mature into being who we all thought. Again, last year, I didn't recognize the kid that came out of Clemson. Now I'm starting to see that kid again, and I'm so happy. It shows you how good coaching is right now, okay? It shows you what good coaching can do for a player. And watch this. For Jalen, it shows you what stability means to him. Second time now he's had a coach, or second year in a system. He's understanding more. He's probably adding to the approach of what they want to do. Trevor Lawrence is getting the great coaching to really help his growth. And you can see it week in and week out. Okay? And I'll tell you this. Trevor Lawrence throws a laser. He's clearly got more arm talent than Jalen. And he's a better athlete than you think. And he's 6'5", 6'6". He's prototype. Now, some of you may like the style of Jalen. I personally don't. And to me, that style is a dual threat. But it's also dual threat to get injured. Now, look, hey, a drop-back quarterback could get hurt the same way Dak Prescott can get hurt. Hand hits a helmet. I get it. I mean, if you're concerned about a quarterback, whether he's dual threat or a drop-back guy, and you're concerned about a guy getting injured, end of the day, dude, you can't play in fear. You just can't. Okay? Dude, Mark, you don't really think Jalen Hurts has a better arm than Trevor Lawrence? Use your brain. Okay? Use your brain. Sills, you think Howie and Jeffrey Lurie are going to say hi to Doug? I do. I do. The way the owner sounded, the owner didn't want to let him go. I think the owner's got, hey, I wouldn't shock me if Jeffrey Lurie recommended to Shade Khan, Doug Pederson. You know the owner called him and had a conversation with him. He probably called the general manager too. Okay? Probably called him and had a conversation with him. You don't pay a guy and hire a guy like that and put him in a key position like head coach in the NFL if you don't go and talk to his former bosses. Hurts is making harder throws. Okay, he's not Trevor Lawrence, though. Trevor Lawrence has pinpoint accuracy like Josh Allen. He's a better talent. Okay, he's a better talent. Now, how many times look at Justin Herbert? I don't know about, Justin Herbert's a pretty good talent too, but they're losing ball games. I get he's hurt. I get it. To me, Lawrence is the better quarterback. If I had to build my team, but Jalen's playing better. That can happen. Are you going to try to tell me that you would take, let's see. Are you going to try to tell me that you would take Jalen Hurts over Joe Burrow? Jalen's playing better than Joe Burrow. Are you really going to say that? No one in their right mind would say that. No one in their right mind would go, I'll take Jalen Hurts over Joe Burrow. Jalen's playing better. He's the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. But you still wouldn't take Joe Burrow and say, nah, you know what, I'll keep Jalen. You wouldn't say that. Nobody in their mind would say that. That's because you've fallen in love with the player. That's fine. Fans do that. There's no problem with that. And again, I'm not going to here to try to convince you of it. I'm telling you my opinion. Guys play better in stretches. Joe Burrow's 10 times more accomplished than Jalen. Now, Trevor Lawrence, he had Urban Meyer or Urban Liar last year to have to deal with. Now you've got an adult in the building. And with good coaching, Trevor Lawrence looks like the prospect we all saw when he came out of Clemson. Now, by the way, I want to circle back and underline. Am I in some way saying to you that Jalen Hurts is not one of the quarterbacks that has the potential on being an elite guy? Absolutely not am I saying that. He's trending that way. He's not there yet. He hasn't beaten a significant team in his entire career yet. And for that matter, neither's Trevor. Chargers, Vikings. Okay. Both guys. What you don't want to fall into the category of is this: Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott. Hey, I put up really great numbers, but I really haven't beaten anybody. Okay? You don't want to be in that conversation. All right? You just don't. When these guys win a game against a team that matters and somebody who is in a position where you've got to come from behind or you've got to win a game, you've got to beat the Cowboy. Like Jalen's litmus test is Dallas. You all know this. It's not really the Cardinals. It's not really the Jags. It's the Cowboys. It's been that way since Vermeil. Jalen's got to beat Dallas before anybody really starts talking about future of the Eagles. Beating Detroit and beating Washington and beating the Vikings is not there. You're climbing up the steps. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence. Nice win, Trevor, against the Chargers. Way to shut out a team that beat the Chiefs. Still, I look at that and go like the same thing I'm saying to you about Jalen Hurts. Hey, You got to win games like Sunday. That game, let me say this to you. If Trevor Lawrence wins that game on Sunday and beats a guy who's in the conversation for the MVP, that'll mean more to him and his growth and to that team's growth than if the Eagles happen to drop that game. Okay? It'll mean more because then you're starting to build confidence in that kid again. Jalen's not going to play bad Sunday. I'm not saying that he's going to get up. I'm not at all. I'm saying when you watch Trevor Lawrence play and you see the skill set he has, now again, I love that style. I do. I love the style. And for the record, I think Trevor Lawrence has conducted himself the last 2 years, even with that train wreck of a coach. I think he's done a great job having to deal with that guy last year. He's been a pro. I never saw him acting immature like the head coach was. Look at Dami. He goes, now it's the Cowboys. It's always been the Cowboys, jackass. And you know it. Vermeil said it. Andy Reid said it. Doug said it. You got to beat Dallas. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. The Cowboys have owned your ass, even in your own building. You got to beat Dallas. Okay? Nick wore the shirt. Good. Got to beat Dallas, man. Got to beat that team. You got to put them to sleep. Do I think you can? I do. Okay, I do. Since 2000. How about in the last 10, you've lost 7 at home? Lenny. Since 2000. Great. 23-21 against Dallas. Okay? Sileo always talks up the ops. I said you're better, jackass. Richard, I said you're better. You're going to win 30-26. What the hell do you want? I'm going to give you guys some statistics here. You guys think that scored 30-26? Here, let me show you this. Here's just some gratuitous betting stats going into week 4. The Chiefs have been favored 26 straight games. That game now between the the Bucks and the Chiefs is now a pick'em game. It opened at 2.5. 64% of the NFL games have been under the points. 64%, which means the games have all been pretty close. The average victory is 3 points. Very rarely. What the Eagles are doing, they're doing something right now that's not in what the rest of the league's doing. That's why it's a great start. It's not going to last like that. You're not going to continue to blow teams out like that. Because everything goes in trends. We all know this. Okay? Who else is better than Jalen? Well, I'll take the quarterback last night, Joe Burrow. I'll take Josh Allen. I'll take Lamar Jackson. Let's see. I'll take Justin Herbert. That's a pretty good question, actually. Okay? That's a pretty good question. Pretty good question. How many quarterbacks would you take ahead of Jalen? Well, in the NFC, I wouldn't take Brady over him. I'm not building my team around Brady. He's 44 years old. I'll take Jalen. You heard me right. Why would I want Brady for 1 year? I'm not building anything around Brady. Brady's window's today. Jalen's got 10 years. Why would I take Tom Brady? Think about that. Why would I take Tom Brady over Jalen Hurts? I'm not going anywhere with Tom Brady into it. Once he leaves, I'm in a worse pickle. Think about where the Buccaneers are going to be when Brady leaves. Kyle Trask? Good night. I mean, look at the cliff fall. Look at the cliff you fall off of with that. You go from Brady to Kyle Trask. He's decent, I guess. I don't know. Okay, A-Rod's better. Of course he's better than Jalen. But, again, we're talking about another guy. Like this, the question I asked, to circle back, Trevor Lawrence I'm taking because Trevor Lawrence is his age, and he's around the same age, and he's a better talent. But, again, a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, I'm not taking those guys over Jalen Hurts. I got 2 years tops with Aaron, and I got 1 year with Brady. Those guys are old news. Not even in the same conversation. Would I take Jalen over Tua? Yeah. Would I take Jalen over a Lamar? No. Or Josh Allen? Absolutely not. Okay. Mahomes? Not close. Okay. Not at all. Hey, watch this. Would I take Jalen over Dak? Yeah. Yeah. Would I take Jalen over Cooper Rush? No, I'm kidding. Stafford, no. Maniac. See how I'm looking at it? I'm looking at, my question was, would you build I'm not building my team around Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers. There's 2 years, 1 year, and what, 3? Max with Stafford, 4? Why would I do that? I got a kid potentially that I could play for the next 10 years. Build my team around the way I want it to be built, and the kid's playing good. He just was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Why in the world would I take a guy playing 1 year? Well, give me Tom Brady. Forget it. That's not the question. That's not the question. You wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers as a starting quarterback in Philly over Jalen. You wouldn't. You got 1 year with the guy. If you don't win 1 year, you're out? You're going to roll the dice like that? Now, different conversation is, could Brady come in here with these weapons? They'd go undefeated. I get that, and I understand that. But the question was, who would you build your team around between the two quarterbacks on Sunday? Okay? Allen over Lamar any day. We're actually going to talk about that. Elijah, love your show, Dan. You're quite the pimp as a host. Thank you very much. Hey, man, we just have Hey, John says, what about David Carr? Or Derek Carr, excuse me. Yeah, I'd probably take Jalen over Carr. I think Carr's a good quarterback, too. Top 10 guy, puts up numbers. I think he's good. I'll tell you what, though, man. He's struggling with Devonta Adams in the building. Sills, this is a must-win game. I don't think so. Okay? I for the Eagles, I don't think so. That Dallas game's must. I'm not taking Jalen Hurts over Deshaun Watson in no way, shape, or form. Absolutely not. And I would still have signed him with all the BS. And the Browns are holding out, baby. I think the Browns are going to go 3-1. I'm going to get to my predictions at the top of the hour, too, by the way. Hey, Trev, how you doing, man? Hey, I hope everything's working out. I see they shut down 790 finally. It's going Spanish in South Florida. That'll help QAM out down there. Glad you're over there with QAM and Len Weiner. Way to go, brother. Okay. You said you'd rather have Cousins. I think you guys have cured me of Cousins because he's Dak Prescott. You guys are right. Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins are the same guy. I think Kirk puts up – I think the Vikings – by the way, I have not diminished in any way, shape, or form your win over the Vikings. I still think the Vikings are going to give the Packers a run for their money when it comes to the NFC North. I think the Vikings are going to make the playoffs. Okay? You take Watson over Hurts any day, any night, all night long. All night long. Now, if you want to have a guy running for mayor, I'll take Jalen Hurts over Deshaun Watson any day. Any day. Are you under some illusion that you think Jalen has the same quarterbacking skill set as Deshaun Watson? Big Sills, it was over 24 women. If the league doesn't think it's a big deal and the Browns don't think it's a big deal, who am I? Who am I? I don't care. He's got nothing to do with me. I watch him play quarterback. Unlike some of you who take into account Like you know these people, who they are, what they are as they play? I don't care. It has no bearing on me. You think I turn on a television set because there's a good dude? I want to be entertained, my friends. I don't give a shit about good dudes. Has nothing to do with me. Good dudes walk in and out of my house with my daughter. Good dudes are people that hang around me. Good people are in my life. People on TV, you might as well have SpongeBob or Teletubbies. Who gives a shit? These people have nothing to do with your life if they do something stupid. Zero. But yet you care. The league doesn't care. Why should you care? I mean, really. Okay? Watson sucks. Of course he does. Ray Lewis allegedly killed a guy. Was awesome to watch play. Yeah. That's right. Had nothing to do with me. League cleared him. League put him on the field. I don't know what you want out of me. I'm not the law. If the NFL puts people on the field and they clear these people, what do you give a shit about their past? Why do you care? Is it great to have someone like Jalen Hurts representing your franchise? Absolutely. Everybody on the planet would want a face like Jalen Hurts representing their company. But I hate to tell you this, Sunshine. The world's not a perfect place. I hate to break the news to you. There's bad people in good positions in this country. And unfortunately, those people get away with things because you know why? They're entitled. You really wanted to stop Deshaun Watson and you want to care about women? You should have blackballed him for the rest of his life. Don't let him play. That's a statement, my friends. Okay? That's a statement. If you thought that Deshaun Watson was such a bad dude, you should have kicked him out of the league for the rest of his life. Instead, what you do, you gave him a raise and you guaranteed $230 million. That's the NFL. That's why Tagovailoa was on the field on Thursday night. Flex. Keep it 100%. Lamar over Allen just because, oh, man, hey, I'm sorry I missed that. Xander, can you put that up there for me, man? Thank you. Lamar over Allen, just because you don't like the style doesn't mean that Allen wasn't good until Diggs came there. Lamar won the MVP with bums at wide receiver. Okay? Okay. That's fair. Flex. That's fair. Dak's only achievement is he's a starting quarterback for Dallas. Completely 007. This guy's done shit, man. I mean, he's won as many playoff games as Kirk Cousins has. Okay? I can't root for him. Yeah, I never said I was rooting for him. I want to make sure that lands there. I'm not rooting for Deshaun. No. I enjoy watching him play. If the league doesn't have a problem with it, get this. Look, just here's the message by the NFL this year. You gave a guy $230 million in guaranteed money in Cleveland and a raise with 24 sexual assault accusations against him. You put a guy on the field Thursday night who shouldn't have been on the field. You tell me. You tell me if you could figure the league out. You put a guy in danger last night, and you paid a guy that's got 24 sexual assault accusations, the biggest contract in NFL history, with the biggest guarantees. And you're trying to tell me and get on me because I'm sitting here talking about Watson? The league put him back in. I didn't. I don't have that. I know you guys think I might have that kind of control, but I don't. Okay? I mean, hey, you know, when I say something, I don't have a relationship with any one of these guys, nor would I want one, but I love watching them. Like you said about Ray Lewis, I happen to know Ray, so it's a little different for me. Trust me, guys. I get drilled by people who are close to me. Oh, so you like Ray Lewis, huh? He's your hurricane brother, huh? Hey, trust me, I have to answer to certain people sometimes. Okay. Every media report is waiting for him to come back to apologize or say he was guilty. All he has to say, I'm here to play ball. GT, he doesn't have to tell you anything. He doesn't know anybody anything. Okay. So you're on the defensive? I'm not on the defensive of anything. I don't give a shit. Lindsay, you're under some impression I care. I don't care about a guy's behavior. That's for the league to figure out. The league can't even figure out if they're going to protect Tagovailoa from himself. And you want me to try to talk to you about Deshaun Watson's behavior when they can't even figure out how to handle a guy with a concussion. And they just rush his ass out there. Man, some of you guys and people just, you don't get the league, man, at all. They don't care what you did. Deshaun Watson couldn't get a job. And no disrespect to anybody that works at 7-Eleven, White Cow. He couldn't get a job there. Anything Mahomes so great and set the bar so high, y'all praise Allen and Herbert for losing to him more than y'all give Mahomes praise for winning. Patrick Mahomes is the gold standard right now of how you want to build your football team, my friend. As successful as he's been with Andy, there's a perfect dynamic there. And that's what I'm saying, circling all the way back to our question on Trevor Lawrence and with Jalen Hurts. What's the one dynamic that Trevor Lawrence has over Nick Sirianni? Is that with Jalen? He's got Doug Pederson, a Super Bowl winning coach. He's got a Super Bowl winning coach. Yeah, I mean, Xander just goes like this. Mahomes is the number one quarterback I'd take to start the franchise with easily right now. Because here's why, and I'm not really speaking for you, Xander, but I'll throw this dynamic in. It's because he's won. He's won the big chip. He's consistent. He's moving the sticks without – I know, hey, look, I know they lost last week, but you got to look at the first month of the season. They've played pretty well without Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's added a lot to the Miami offense. He clearly has. He clearly has, okay? That's right. Man, you've been to 4 straight AFC championship games. You've won a Super Bowl. And Xander's like, hey, chip, bitch. That's exactly right. Okay? Absolutely, man. All right. Week 4 of the NFL, I want to take a look at some of the great storylines. Also, one player to keep an eye on. One player to keep an eye on for the Eagles on Sunday on defense. This player has to have an impact. Lawrence is playing well. All right. Hit the like button. Hour 2, keep it here on the National Football Show.